Sitting here again talking about the same things.
Well. Another week of chaos is by, and with it, the swamp has been drained by the unlikeliest of adversaries. The nerds have been destroyed by the Yinzers, and Notre Dame just scored on Syracuse again. Welcome back, everybody, to another grand week of chaos over here on Squidtard Sports and Reds' channel as we get into another episode, another week of the FBS Report. Now, Red, tell us what FBS stands for before we get a move along. Why don't we?
FBS, man. It stands for a lot of things. It kind of represents my experience with the entire state of Michigan. Fucking bullshit. Because it's hate week, motherfuckers, and I hate Michigan. Fuck the Wolverines, baby. It is that time again. And we're gonna beat their asses to death this year. Let's fucking go. Revenge will be ours.
Yeah. All right, welcome everybody. So we got a lot to get through today. There's a lot to talk about, as there always is every single week. Again, this is the final week of the regular season. So a lot of seasons are going to come to a close after this week. Got a lot of games Friday that we got to talk about, Saturday. But of course, before any of that, we got to talk about everything that occurred last week, because as is with every week, a lot has occurred. And we're going to start out with the news that I'm sure everybody was expecting us to start out with, and that is another one on the coaching carousel has fallen. And to be honest, I expected him to last a little bit longer after everything that's happened after the upsets. But again, when you lose the only game this fan base cares about, yeah, chances are you're going to go. And that's exactly what happened to Cal's Justin Wilcox, as he has been officially canned from the University of California, Berkeley, after losing to Stanford. And it wasn't even a necessarily close game. Stanford pretty much just put the whooping on him at night in front of about 12 different people. And that was the premise of it. They never really stood a chance. And when you lose a game, when you lose a game like this, chances are you're pretty much done for, especially when you get blown out, but your quarterback has double the yardage of theirs. That's the crazy part. They had more yards passing, twice as many passing yards as Stanford did. You know, you want to know what they didn't have? A dadgum rushing game. They had 12 yards rushing total. 12 total rushing yards for Cal. And that'll get you. That'll get you at the end of the day. Now, then again, when you're JKS and you're just constantly getting sacked because your offensive line is worth a sandpaper condom, this is exactly what happens to you. So, womp womp, that's all I can really tell you. But yeah, down goes another coach, Wilcox from Cal, and Cal's going to join the coaching shit show, as you could call it.
I'm going to be honest here with you, Squid. Wilcox, I didn't realize this until I read into it today for the video I'm making later this week. He's been there for 9 fucking years. And you look at his record. I mean, it's not like they've been getting beat by Stanford the last 5 years. They won 4 in a row before they got beat by Stanford on Saturday. So logic dictates that this is not just because they lost to Stanford, right? He's been there 9 years. What the fuck have they done in Cal the last 9 years? They have lost more games than they've won, especially in conference play. It's 2-1 when you look at the losses in conference play. And, oh, by the way, have they won any bowl games? They won a single bowl game, the 2019 Redbox Bowl. That's it. To my knowledge, they've barely made it to 500 each of the last couple of years, or they've barely missed being at 500. Though that was the last time they had 8 wins was 2019 before the pandemic. So he got the job because he was the defensive coordinator for Washington, and Washington made the playoffs in 2016, and they got poached by Cal, and they held on to him for this long for reasons. I don't know if they were just giving him more time. I don't know if they were just being cheap. I don't know. Football is not exactly a priority at Cal right now.
Not an investment worth Cal's time.
But it wasn't the school that made the decision. It was their general manager, Ron Rivera. Riverboat Ron pulled the trigger on Wilcox. I think he just joined up with the squad in the past year, if I'm not mistaken, as their new GM. So,
and he's their interim coach now.
Yeah. So that's the real reason why I think it's because they went under different management with Ron Rivera as the general manager, not the athletic director, general manager. They haven't been that good for a long time, and this was just the final nail in the coffin. You could say, oh, well, they beat a ranked Louisville. Yeah, is Louisville actually that good, to be honest with you? No. We've kind of seen that now, right? They're fine.
It's the
you
ACC.
Beat somebody on your level. You could beat somebody on your level. That's fine. You could do that. You struggled against Boston College, though. Like, come on, dude.
And Bill Belichick.
And Bill Belichick. Like, I think this was the right call. It's actually kind of overdue. Cal needed a reset. So, I think this was the right call by Cal. Overdue, if you ask me. Rivera was just waiting for a reason to fire him, and this was it. They got a bright future ahead of Cal. I think anybody they hire will be better than whoever the fuck they had. Genuinely.
Well, I think they've got a lot of work to do. And I think it's going to be interesting because I think this carousel, I think they need to hire somebody quick and fast, because if Stanford doesn't do what I think they will and actually makes Andrew Luck their head coach, that means they're going to be a part of the search as well. And Cal and Stanford are going to be in the same area in competition trying to find a new head coach. Stanford could absolutely get the jump on them when it comes to finding the right guy. And then Cal Berkeley will be left with whatever scraps are remaining. So I think they need to find their guy, and they need to find him quick and fast is what I think.
I mean, yeah, you're absolutely right, because I'm just now looking at the map. I never really pay attention to where Berkeley and Stanford are actually at. They're literally on opposite sides of the San Francisco Bay, which is kind of fucked up. You got Berkeley up there by San Francisco proper and Concord. Stanford's down by San Jose, which is about a good hour south. So they're not that far apart at all, which is kind of wild. So, gonna be an interesting coaching search, and they need to move quick. But that's the double-edged sword. Like, yeah, you get a coach fast, great. Are you gonna be able to properly vet anybody? I'm assuming Rivera's been working on this for a while, though, so maybe he knows a thing or two.
Certainly, maybe. We'll see. We'll find out. Gone222, appreciate the 5, says, at work today, but wishing you all well. We're wishing you well too, buddy. Get that money up. Stead that funny up. All right.
Money talks, bullshit walks.
Yeah, speaking of bullshit walking, a lot of bullshit was walking this week. Specifically from my side of the spectrum, man. I just can't. There's no way I can go any further without talking about it, man. I just can't. I can't. Yeah.
I'm going full
blown. 22 dadgum years in the making. I'm gonna say something about it. And I can't hold off on saying it. So
I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and let you talk.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so I let out a tweet, and I talked about this last week. I let out a tweet saying that Florida, because Florida had just gotten off of a loss to, I think it was Kentucky or whoever they got beat down by. Florida's gotten beat down so many times this year, I don't even keep track. But I let out a tweet saying Florida was 3-7 and now bowl ineligible. Will not make a bowl this year. One of the worst Florida teams we've seen this century. One of the worst Florida teams we've seen all time. Unless you were born for 1979, this might have been the worst Florida team in your lifetime. So I let out a tweet saying, if we lose to this Florida team in Gainesville, I don't care. I want Heupel gone. That's what I said. And a bunch of the fan base got mad at me. They're still mad at me. But whatever happened, I think they listened. Somebody spread the word at Tennessee. Because what my team did was come out and they played on the road at night, probably the best football I've seen from Josh Heupel. And that's not, again, that's not an exaggeration. I know it's a 3-8 Florida team. Like, look, if you've seen the teams that we lost to in Gainesville, you would be very surprised at how well Tennessee performed in that first half. And that's exactly what they did. I mean, I haven't, because Josh Heupel has gone on the road plenty of times, and pretty much what he does every time is he plays soft, plays down to competition, sometimes doesn't even score any points until the second half. But what happened in this first half of this ball game was an absolute whooping of the century. We just outright went in there and obliterated them, wiped them off the face of the earth. It took one dadgum quarter for the game to be over. Literally. After the first quarter, this game was literally over. And we just kept putting the whooping on them. The defense played well. The offense went out there and executed to perfection. Joey Aguilar was out there slinging the run game. This is the highest amount of yards we've run all season, 248 yards on Florida in the swamp. DJ Lagway, of course, looked terrible. Florida was able to run the ball, but not until the second half. And none of the run plays that they actually executed, it got held back by ref ball, and they basically executed themselves. And so we went in there, we executed, we did exactly what we needed to do in that first half. Second half, yes, we got extremely conservative. Josh Heupel did the usual smooth brain clock management, blah, 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 blah. You know the idea. But the game was over. Florida fans are leaving in droves. Literally the ones that stuck around to sing Won't Back Down for the experience, and then they backed down and proceeded to leave the stadium in droves to beat traffic. That's exactly what happened. It was over at halftime. They had no coach, no leadership, and a quarterback who you can't trust to throw a pick not to throw a pick in any given scenario. Well, he didn't throw an interception, but that's only because they threw screens. I knew it was over when they were throwing screens on 3rd and longs. That's how I knew that Tennessee had this game won no matter what happened. Even though I've seen some ridiculous comebacks, I've seen some ridiculous things happen in this rivalry, I knew this Florida team didn't have it in them to come back, and that's exactly what happened. Tennessee took care of business. They executed to perfection. They did what I wanted them to do. And not only that, but Heupel proved he had somewhat of a spine. And so, yeah, I said that I would have wanted him fired had we lost this game. So the fact that we didn't lose this game, I'm a believer again. I'm a believer in what Josh Heupel could do in this program. Look, it's been 22 years. The last 10 times we played in the swamp came out as losses in the most ridiculous of fashions imaginable. And whatever you think of Josh Heupel, that doesn't matter. I mean, credit to Joey Aguilar. This dude is going to go down as a Tennessee hero for the distant future, I think, at Tennessee, because there's only been, in the last however many, like 50 years, there's only been 3 quarterbacks that have ever been able to repeat what Joey Aguilar has done. And actually only 2. And I think there has only been 2 quarterbacks that have beaten Florida in the swamp, actually. One of them was Casey Clausen. The other right there, Joey Aguilar. So in my mind, this dude is going to come down as a legend that basically saved this season, because I don't know where we'd be if Nico was still our quarterback. Maybe we would be the ones at 3-7 or 3-8 or whatever UCLA's record is. We'd be right there with them. So in my opinion, hell of a game performance by Tennessee. Don't have really much to complain about, because they went in there, took care of business, kicked ass, and left the stadium with a W over Florida. So I got nothing else to say about that other than go Vols and fuck you, Florida.
Question, Squid.
Sure.
I know it's been 22 years. I know it's been, you literally haven't beaten Florida in the swamp since you were like 1, right? Since you were a wee little lad, barely a year old. Does the fact that Florida is absolutely putrid take away from this victory at all?
Nope. Nope. Brother, we lost to some of the shittiest Florida teams imaginable. Like what you're looking at right here, back in the days of Dooley and Butch and Pruitt, Tennessee gets absolutely mollywopped by these teams. Literally, Tennessee would get killed by a team like this had we been on the road in the swamp with any other coach. It's just the truth. This team was built differently. It went down there and actually proved that there's some worth to Josh Heupel. So yeah, it doesn't make me any. It doesn't take any weight off of this win that Florida is absolute dog water. It doesn't. It to me, it just makes it all the better because now look at them. They're having the worst season imaginable, and we're just sitting there kicking them in the balls, burying them even deeper in the grave. I'm pretty happy about that, honestly.
Now, here's one question I have for you. Does Lane Kiffin answer the call to go to Gainesville?
No.
Because I'm just going to be real, man. I got no idea what the fuck that bastard's going to do, but I doubt seriously that Florida is an actual landing target for him, considering it doesn't really seem to vibe well with his personality, I would think. They're a little bit too, how do you say, stuck out, despite the fact that they're literally turds in a bowl.
Right. I don't know. I guess we're due to find out, aren't we? We'll talk about that in a moment because, of course, there's a lot to talk about there.
I just had to bring it up because Florida's been
so much. I get that. Phoenix with the 5. Appreciate it, buddy. Says, War damn Eagle. Red predicted us to win 3 to 4 games, and we're at 5, about to win 6. Ignore my prediction of 10 wins. But thank you to both of y'all for the content. Yes,
hey man,
yes.
I'm only off by 1 or 2 wins. I'm still pretty close. You were completely delusional with your prediction of 10 wins. My God. Although I am sorry. War Eagle. Hope you beat Bama this week.
I don't. I'm sorry.
What?
If you don't get. If they win and Auburn knocks out Bama, guess who's going to the SEC championship?
Oh, you're
there you go. There you go. So I can't. I would rather see Bama A&M. Appreciate the 2 from Phoenix. Says it's rivalry week, baby. Best weekend in sports. This is a weekend that everybody looks forward to. Viper Technician with the 2 says Kansas State at Utah, Joe Jackson, Devon Dampier. Yeah, Utah did not look good in any capacity. Maybe their offense looked pretty good. Their defense, whatever the hell that was.
Is a defense?
Yeah, really. Optional, I guess.
I mean, good God. That was just a classic Big 12 matchup right there. All I got to say is classic Big 12 matchup, and that's all you got to say about Utah, Kansas State. Stupid amount of points, stupid lack of defense, and that's
stupid everything, honestly.
Oh, Big Red Fro just brought it up. Yeah. When do you want me to tell the story about what happened to me this weekend with my fucking toilet?
Why don't you do so now? Get out of the way.
So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present to you the life and times of being a dad. It is Saturday afternoon. I'm watching TV. My son's like, Dad, I need to go to the bathroom. He doesn't have to tell me. He's 4, but he does. It's like, okay, cool. Got it. Go. He's in there for 15 minutes.
Uh-oh.
And I'm like, okay. 15 minutes for a 4-year-old. That's not good at all. I knock on the door like, son, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Do I need to come in there? No. Okay. Go sit back down. 10 minutes later. Okay, motherfucker, I'm getting up. I go to the bathroom, and he's off the toilet at this point, but he was just like, I pooped. I'm like, okay, got it. Why were you in here so long? Nothing. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. That's how you know. That's how you know.
So I lift up the lid, and there is a bunch of toilet paper in there. And I'm thinking, son, why are you wasting all of our toilet paper? He's like, I don't know. Whatever. Go to flush. Doesn't go down. Go to flush. Go to flush. I'm thinking, okay, me and my girlfriend are now in the bathroom with them. Like, okay, what the hell is this? She goes to get a grocery store bag to get all the extra toilet paper out because there's just so much toilet paper in there. It's not going down. So we get the toilet paper out. I'm not in the bathroom at this point. I'm in the kitchen thinking, okay, whatever. She's like, honey. I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, God, what happened? Did he, like, have a massive one? No, it wasn't a turd. There was 3 fucking fidget toys in the toilet. A little mini Xbox controller one, a little metal ring that he would play with, and we would find out later, a black foldable Rubik's Cube. We didn't know all of those were in there at the moment, though. We just saw the controller, and we got the controller out, and we go to flush it. Nothing goes the fuck down. So now I'm like, oh, God. I look at him like, boy, you need to tell me right now. What's all in there? My other toy. And I'm like, what other toy? The ring. Okay, and what else? What else, son? The cube. The cube. The cube. So I find the ring. I get the ring out, but I can't find the goddamn cube. So I start plunging the motherfucker, thinking, okay, it's probably gonna fit through the pipes. I'm plunging, not gonna.
Yeah. See, no, yeah. The moment I hear, oh, I put some stuff in that's when punishment first, questions later. That's how that would go down.
This is not the end of it either. I'm getting to it though. I'll hurry the fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm plunging it. I worked on this fucking toilet for 3 hours. 3 goddamn hours. So I'm plunging a fucking toilet. And it's just not going. It's just me now because my girlfriend works night shift. She had to go. I had no help. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I've held that cube before. It's big. Oh, shit. It's fucking stuck. So I go in, I get a wire coat hanger, and I try to scoop it into the bowl. I couldn't find that fucker. It was deep in there at this point because I've been plunging the shit out of it for the last 3 fucking hours. So I called the local plumbing company. They're not sponsored. Apollo Plumbing, if you're in the Cincinnati area. Those guys are awesome. And they're like, okay, we're going to have to come tomorrow. Everybody else is booked up for the night. Wait, what do you mean tomorrow? I need my toilet fixed now. I got to take a shit. And the long story short, after a day of suffer, after an evening of awkward trips outside, we ended up, the Apollo guy the plumbing guy come. He looks at the toilet, looks at me, looks at the toilet, looks at me. He's like, you said a what's in there? Like a Rubik's Cube thing? He's like, oh boy. Okay, I got bad news for you, buddy. One of 2 things are going to happen. I'm either going to get the vacuum in here and it's going to suck out, or I'm going to get the auger and it's going to break the toilet. I'm like, okay, let's get the vacuum. 10 minutes of the vacuum, nothing happens. He's like, I got to get the auger. I'm like, please be careful. He's like, sign the waiver so I don't get in trouble if I break it.
Ooh.
5 minutes later, I hear.
And there you go.
And all of a sudden, I feel a burning hole in my wallet because the plumber, unfortunately, in the efforts of getting this damn cube out of the toilet, broke the porcelain in the plumbing. So, and that is how I am suddenly $500 more broke. It could have been $1,000, but they cut me a deal. They gave me 50% off because I've used them plenty of times, and also because they know it's a 4-year-old that did this and not my stupid ass. So they gave me pity. They gave me a pity 50% off. Yeah, and I only had to pay
present, but you ain't really there.
I only had to pay for the price of the toilet and for him to put it in, and that's about it. The donations were wasted.
There you go. Incredible.
The good news is that you got, yeah. Well, this is what happens when you.
The good news, there ain't no good news in this one, brother. I'm sorry. This just sucks.
Yeah, well, you know what, guys? What did we learn today? If you don't want kids, no pressure. I get it. Kids can be assholes. This boy has cost. By the way, I won't go into it any further because we got to move on. But my son is officially going to start the first 5 paychecks he gets when he's old enough to get a job are going straight to me because he's broken 2 toilets and 2 windows.
Oh yeah.
This is not the first time it's fucking happened. Not with toys either. Just in general, he's a destructive lad. I love him, but damn.
Yeah, that should count towards his Christmas gifts too. What did I get for Christmas, Daddy? Oh, a new toilet because you broke the last 2. That's what I would do in that situation.
You broke both my windows. You've broken 2 of my toilets now. Enough is enough. You're only 4 years old, goddammit.
Yeah, you need to send them to Michigan so they can break their football program.
Oh, I actually do send them to Michigan for 3 weeks out of the year to go hang out with my father and my stepmother. So that's actually legit.
Nice. Great.
I love that boy to death. I really do. But, man, he's expensive.
All right, anyway. Yeah, no. I hear you there, brother. Some super chats came in. Depressed Chargers fan with the 5 says, as a USC fan, I say we go 9-3, but it would be the saddest 9-3 possible. I say that prediction was pretty accurate. Hey, who knows? The Pop-Tart Bowl, or not the Pop-Tart Bowl, but the Relay Quest might be looking at you or something. Who knows? Josh Elander, 2024 champs with the 5 says, it took my sister having a gay wedding for UT to win in the swamp. Going to need her to do it again in 2029. What was she the one getting married, or was she attending the wedding? That's
probably
all
I getting married if it's that big of a deal.
Well, if that is the truth, congratulations.
Hey.
All right. Anyway, you want to talk about a toilet overflowing? I got you a present right here. My goodness, you had one job. Now I'm okay. I will say, I'm not surprised. I'm not in the least bit stunned that Georgia Tech wound up choking this. They had the easiest path possible. But I've talked about that with Georgia Tech before, and I stand by it. It's Haynes King or bust. If Haynes King doesn't have a phenomenal day, Georgia Tech just full-on collapses. And not only did Haynes King not have a good day, he had probably his worst performance over the entire season. And so the offense crumbled. And the defense, you can't rely on a Georgia Tech defense because all they do is just flat out collapse every single time they get on the field. So Pitt rolls on through, scores pretty much every single possession that they had, took a 21-0 lead real quick in the first quarter. Georgia Tech attempts a comeback, but then everything sort of disappeared and vanished off the face of the earth the moment the turnovers happened. He throws interceptions. The pick 6 was what really killed them and took them out of commission. And the Yellow Jackets go down and lose their spot in the playoffs in the most humiliating of fashions possible by going out and losing to the Yinzers at home. So, womp.
Yeah. Let me just paint a picture here. If nearly losing to Boston fucking College, 1-10 Boston fucking College was not enough to wake up the Yellow Jackets and help them realize that, hey, our defense is kind of shit. Maybe we should fix that. Because the NC State performance obviously didn't do anything to wake them up either. Nothing would have. They were going to lose this game. You look at everything leading up to this game for Georgia Tech. This was just, by and large, like the culmination of what has been a slow decline and regression for the Jackets. They're not a bad team. Let's just be clear. They're not a bad team. They're a good football team. But Haynes King is the only real weapon they have. They got Jamal Haynes is a good running back, and they got a couple of pieces on offense, sure. They make it a little bit more than one-dimensional, but the defense needs to actually stop something sometimes. And they did for like a moment, but then that final run here, like, it's not like it was a blowout the whole game. Georgia Tech did come back. They about Yinzered their Pitt, literally about blew this game twice, genuinely twice. You had the initial where Georgia Tech was starting to come back. and they were only a touchdown away from getting within 7 points. And then pick 6 was thrown by, King, and it was 100 yards back the other way. But then Pitt's offense completely crashes out again. And Georgia Tech, they're coming back. Pat Narduzzi gets fucking stupid and fakes a fucking punt when you're up by 14 on your own side of the field. Turf Monster eats the running back that takes the snap because Carmen was like, dude, this is fucking dumb. Fuck this. Kills the play with a trip up in the backfield. Georgia Tech scores. They're only down by 7. The defense just, despite everything that Pitt did to Georgia Tech, all the defense had to do was get one stop. And Georgia Tech on offense, they probably could have tied in, sent this fucking overtime. Nope. Running back right up the middle, 60 yards, touchdown, ball game, Pitt wins, lol. The most undeserving win of the week, in my opinion. And you could say Pitt played better for 60 minutes. No, they didn't. They played better for 45 minutes. But you got to play all 60 minutes to win. And Georgia Tech, if one more linebacker was standing between that running back and the open field, it would have been a different result. Let me tell you that right now. So,
yeah, but then you realize that Georgia Tech,
they survived, and Pat Narduzzi is a fucking dumbass.
There you go, and that's
that's
all there is to it.
Fucking cynical about that team now. My God, I was texting Tree throughout the game, on and off, and we were talking to each other about it, just being like, "What the fuck are we actually watching right now?" And at the end, he was like, "I'm honestly more shocked than Georgia Tech fans are right now. How the fuck did we win this game?"
I would have said something to him about it, but I was so locked in on the game in the swamp, I didn't really think. I watching Georgia Tech full on collapse, I was just so worried we were going to do the same thing. That's what my concern was.
Yeah, I mean, this was more Pitt getting lucky, I think, than Georgia Tech collapsing, if you ask me.
Well, it's also that their defense is absolute atrocious dog water donkey doo-doo ass.
Both of them are. Frankly, both defenses are. Notre Dame skewered the fucking Panthers last week like it was nothing. Even if Pitt makes the ACC championship and wins the fucker, which hell would freeze over, I think, if that happened. Their first round exit, I don't even think they make the playoffs if they win the ACC at this rate.
Blake Gideon has not been the hire. Blake Gideon has not been the hire Georgia Tech has been wanting. At all in any capacity. I thought he was going to do pretty good there, but when he got hired as the DC, I thought like, oh, this is a great hire. Safeties coach in Texas. This dude's going to start doing pretty good for him. It's just been just an absolute atrocious mess the entire season. I think he's in over his head. Either that or he's got some major development. Or give me a second. Major development. He's going to have to do.
Or a lack thereof. It's not a roster issue. They have good players on defense. It's not a roster issue at all. Georgia Tech has been putting in the fucking work. And I think long term, they'll be fine. Their head coach isn't going anywhere, I don't think, unless somebody wants to try to poach them. But I think Georgia Tech will invest. They're clearly investing in the football program now. They're renovating the stadium as is. It's partially why they're playing the clean old-fashioned hate in the fucking Nest next week in Atlanta.
Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
So that's part of the reason why they're renovating the goddamn stadium. So they're investing the money in it, in the fucking program. They're going to be fine, I think, long term, but they need more. They just needed more this year. Hell of a season for them. Great run. Can't be mad at it if you're a Georgia Tech fan. You got almost all that you wanted and you hoped for, but you're not going to be ACC champs, and I bet your fucking ass you're not beating Georgia. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's the only thing they can do now is play spoiler for him, but that's not going to happen. Good run, Piss Jackets, but that's the best you got now. Tough luck. Maybe next time bring a defense. Katie Novaneko, appreciate the 2, says, what a great Trojan ad, assuming you're talking about your story.
The fucked up, but not to get too TMI here, but he wasn't an oops. He was planned.
Good to know. Electro appreciate the fun, says Cal will be like, you know it. What? You tell the story. What? You tell the whole damn world. Justin Wilcox, get out. Or Yeah, I've got him. I've got the thingy on here. Justin Wilcox. There you go.
Very well.
And get out he did. All right. Well, yeah, no. I will say overall, I mean, we had a couple of interesting results this week, but in terms of just like explosive upsets or really like big games, there wasn't much to the table in week 13. It was just all made in a lot of it was just getting in preparation for the chaos that was getting ready to occur this week. But I will say we had a dumbass fall this week. One top 25 team reached a higher level of dumbass than I ever could have expected. But Bert Bielema, he found a way.
Oh,
Illinois
God,
loses to
this
Wisconsin,
motherfucker.
and all the 12 quarterbacks they trot onto the field every single game. Wisconsin managed to find a way to win again. This time, I think it was they actually their quarterback actually did the work this time instead of their punter. I know, crazy. Yeah, they actually had a quarterback get like 75 yards. Woo!
75. That's almost 100.
Yeah, Illinois' red zone offense, full on potato. They've got no run game to speak of. It was just more of the same, except even worse. So Fighting Illini go down in a humiliating fashion. Keep him out of the rankings for the rest of the season. Obviously, might as well keep him out of it for next year too, because this is a very humiliating loss for Illinois.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I genuinely am shocked by this. Like, this is. I haven't seen the one thing I want to highlight for Wisconsin right here. Darian Dupree had himself a fucking day. He really had himself a fucking day. 131 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know, he was making people think of like the old days when they had great running backs like the great Ron Dane in their backfield again. Like it was insane to think about. Like it wasn't even like a bunch of short bursts either. He got an 84-yard one to the house at one point. Like, goddamn, this mother just went the hell off, and they could not stop him. Over 200 yards rushing on Illinois' defense, which at one point in time I thought was actually pretty good until they played Indiana, and then they played Ohio State, and then they played Washington, and just on and on and on. I knew that the 10 wins was ambitious for Illinois. People were thinking, 10-win Illinois. They're going to actually make some noise, maybe a playoff team. I lost count of how many times I saw Illinois end up in the simulations of the college football playoff on EA college football, and they're just not it. Altmaier's a great quarterback. You know, he's been great for Illinois. I don't know how much time he has left with Illinois. That's the thing. Like, does he have any more years of eligibility? I can't remember. And if he doesn't, welcome back to the basement, Illinois. We missed you. We kept your seat warm for you. Have a seat. Enjoy. You get to sit next to the likes of Rutgers and Northwestern once again. And actually, Northwestern isn't terrible.
I mean, yeah, it's just all a matter of which quarterback they can, sack out of the portal. But that's about it. Arctic Phoenix with the 2. Appreciate it, buddy. Says Wisconsin versus Georgia Tech neutral site. Who wins? I've got Georgia Tech in that one because Wisconsin. Even if they do manage to like shut down Haynes King just a little bit, they won't be doing much better because their offense, even as bad as Georgia Tech's defense is, their offense is full of potato.
Yeah, no, like Georgia Tech could score 40 on Wisconsin, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Dave Alinsky with the 20. Thank you, good sir. Says, I don't know which is more harder to figure out, the playoff race or conference tiebreakers. Seriously, some of these tiebreakers are so hard to figure out sometimes, aka just look at the MAC. Red is going to speak with us about that at the end of the show.
Don't you worry. Stick around to the end of the show. I will clear up all of it, and you will have the all-seeing knowledge in terms of conference alignment or races, sort of, kind of. Well, I'll explain later.
Yeah, right. Well, thank you for the 20, good sir. All right, well, we talked about Florida already. I deep dived into Florida and about how absolutely terrible they are. But you know who's going to be playing them for bowl eligibility? That's right. They're good friends from in Tallahassee, the Seminoles. Good Lord, the Tech Noles dadgum lost again, everybody. This time on the road at NC State. And a lot of that is partly due to having USC special teams in the sense that they absolutely suck in every capacity imaginable. And there's nothing positive that I could say about Florida State as a team anymore. They just constantly let you down every single time. Once they get into the red zone, they just basically flop all over themselves, blow up. And to lose to this NC State team sort of proves that. And they've already, I don't know. I might have to use my executive authority to give Florida State Clown of the Week for this, but they announced, of course, that last night that they're keeping Mike Norvell for yet another year. So he gets another mulligan season. We thought that was the 2024 season where they finished 2-10. Nope, it's this year too. He's got a mulligan, and most of that, I'm sure, is due to the fact that he beat Alabama, and so they just continue. They just forget about the 6 losses that came afterwards. We beat Alabama. What did we do? And now look at how bad things are panned out. Broken program.
Yeah, so 2 things I learned from this game. Number 1, Florida State has always been garbage. Nothing has changed. They got a few more wins this year, and that's about it. It's the only thing that's good about this season. At least you're not 2-10 again. That's improvement, right? Second, how broke are your fucking boosters? Like that? Did that renovation on Doak Campbell Stadium really drain the bank accounts of all your boosters, especially with these high-ass ticket prices you pay now? Just to go to a goddamn game in the cheapos?
The lawsuits did. The
lawsuits as well. Like the lawsuits, the renovation, the driving the casual fan away, and on and on, the NIL, and on and on and on and on and on. And then you're like, well, we got to get rid of Norvell. He kind of sucks. And the booster's like, yeah, we're not going to pay for it. We're broke. But guess what? He's got to stay. And that means only one thing. As the Dope Burns has been renewed for season 3. God fucking damn it.
Yep, welcome back. They might keep you around. The Doke is going to keep burning for a while.
God, I can't believe I talk more about Florida State than I do my own Buckeyes these days. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, who knows? They might do like Michigan and try to run away from the conference. Who knows? Yeah, crazy stuff can happen.
I feel like that. I feel like that's going to be the end stage of like college football's mega conference era. It's not going to be like this forever. Eventually, a couple of schools are going to get sick of this shit, and they're going to break away from their mega conferences because they can make it on their own as their own big program and get media rights.
They're going to try and beat Notre Dame.
Michigan could be like Notre Dame. They could. They really could. All it takes is just one network to be like, oh, yeah, shit. We'll give Michigan football every week. Fuck yeah, let's do it. Mm-hmm. Or Michigan can even be like, we'll partner with the TV legacy network, but then we're also going to put out an app, and we can put streaming out for all our fans, and they can get all the revenue to themselves because who the fuck, what Michigan fan wouldn't want to watch Michigan on their own fucking cell phones with no problem for like $10 a month or whatever the fuck it is,
and give them their own TV network too. The Michigan network.
Exactly. Give them a legacy network, have them be like, well, I mean, NBC's got Notre Dame already, so we can just partner you up with Notre Dame. And
partnered up with the CW. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, enough Michigan banter. We got plenty of time for that.
Fuck them.
Yeah. But speaking of which, though, anything you got to say about this result here? I'll let you yap about it, but I don't think there's much you need to say.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
Never will.
It's
all right. Great stuff.
I've been telling you all this for weeks now. Although I will say this, I am a little worried considering that we had 2 of our top wide receivers sitting this game out. Now, I don't think there's serious injuries. I think they're just lingering like slight bruises and scrapes that they saw and they were playing Rutgers. And like, is it really worth putting our best guys out there for Rutgers? Because we're just going to smoke them anyways. So I'm trying not to think too hard into it.
We're seeing it now. I saw it with some other teams too. There are some teams definitely resting their best guys, and I think you're one of them. Because let's be honest, Rutgers against Ohio State, it's hydrogen bomb versus coughing
Coughing
baby.
baby.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's you're going to win no matter what, at least in my eyes. So
Rutgers is not going to come into Columbus, Ohio, in Ohio Stadium and beat the Ohio State Buckeyes. No, sir. That does not happen.
Yeah. Josef Stalin with the 5 says we need FSU and Bama to lose so we can get both As the Doke Burns and Dixieland Destruction in the same video. Ding-a-ling-a-ling, Okay, anyway, we had a Big Ten Pac-12 showdown over the course of this last week. I streamed it as a members only, or at least the first half, but yeah, not too entertaining, honestly. Oregon pretty much went out, took care of business at home. USC did their best to fight back, but never really, they could never really get over the hump. They'd score, the only lead they get in the game was on the first scoring drive, and then Oregon pretty much just took control afterwards and then just slowly but surely drove away. Jaden Mayava did the best he could to respond, 300 yards passing, and he actually had a pretty good day. But then the turnovers came along. That pretty much killed drive there. That pretty much killed drive their chances. So USC actually had, they had a path to the Big Ten championship in the playoffs had they won this game. But the Duckies reigned strong, and off of that, Oregon now has a path themselves. Of course, they've got a path to the playoffs firstly, but if the thing happens that Red would hate the most, and we get 5 years in a row, then Oregon has a path to the Big Ten championship as well. So keep that in mind.
Ain't happening, but we'll talk more about it later. Yeah, look, I'll say this. I was mildly surprised that USC was still actually mattered at this stage in the season. It took until week 13 before Lincoln Riley went full-blown, he's a fucking hack all over again. I hate that son of a bitch. He's a fucking disgrace to college football. I hate him almost as much as I hate Brian Kelly. Go check out Cajun Collapse now, by the way, if you haven't already, if you want to know my true thoughts about Senor Kelly. But it was only a matter of time before USC was going to trip and fall on their face. They haven't beat Oregon in Autzen since 2011. It was a foregone conclusion they were going to lose. Lincoln Riley just is not built for this. This team is not built for this. They will not, I repeat, will not win the Big Ten championship or make the playoffs so long as Lincoln Riley is the head coach for the Trojans. I'd say fire his ass, but at this point, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to be racing for the table scraps after the big SEC schools poach up all the best coaches. It's not fucking happening.
Well, there you go. There you go. You heard it. You indeed heard it. USC at least has improved over the course of the time Lincoln Riley has been there.
Define improve.
Going from 6-6 to 8-4. A little bit of improvement.
8-4, 7-5. Okay, so you got 2 more wins.
Yeah, they're trying real hard. Give them some time.
Compared to what was there at the Pete Carroll years, and the legacy that team has.
Yeah, but
that's unacceptable to them.
But it's Lincoln Riley. It's a fraud.
I know they should fire his ass, but they won't.
They won't. Duh. Yeah, Viper Technician with the 2 says Lincoln Riley or Cliff Kingsbury. Oh,
why?
I don't know about that.
Do you want cancer or do you want radioactive waste in your ass? Which one do you want?
Either one's gonna kill you. So just
either one's gonna kill you. They both suck.
Right. Absolutely. Okay, then. Well, next up, talk about something that kills you. It's injuries, and the injury bug certainly took its toll on Missouri over the course of this season. Now, Beau Pribula actually did make his return, like I predicted, but the offense was just whatever offensive productivity he was supposed to come with never came along with him, and so Missouri goes down pretty much not swinging at all. Oklahoma's defense looks good. Oklahoma has a great defense that's going to do a good job shutting down most teams that they play. I think the big problem with Oklahoma is that their offense just poses no significant threat at all. John Mateer didn't look great at all. The run game is missing other than Mateer's feet, but that's about it. That's about all they got in terms of an actual run game. Deion Burks has only 2 yards rushing. So if they can't establish some sort of run game in the playoffs, they might be a first-round exit even at home.
Oh, for sure. I agree with that completely. This is, if you're an Oklahoma fan and you make the playoffs, you're just going to be happy to be there for a cup of coffee because you're going to be the first one out. You're no shot that if Oklahoma, who is ranked 9th coming into this week, remind me.
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame. No shot if the playoffs continue. I know the standings will update later. I think they already reveal the new playoff standings tonight.
No, they do it tomorrow.
They do it tomorrow. That's right. It's Monday, not Tuesday. So let's say Oklahoma and Notre Dame end up being the 8 and 9 seeds in the playoffs. No fucking shot the Irish come into fucking Norman and lose against this goddamn sad sack of shit. The only thing keeping this offense running is Isaiah Satenga. That's the only thing on the field worth a fuck right now for the Sooners is Satenga. And he's just one guy. And he doesn't always get the fucking ball. He only got the ball 3 times in this game for 1 touchdown. You're not going to get the ball at all if you're playing an actual team that's worth a shit. Mizzou's injured as shit. And even Bo coming back, like he's still hurting. All they had was Ahmad Hardy, and he get rid of the buzzsaw, which is the only reason why Oklahoma's still relevant. The defense. Oklahoma's defense is getting hot at the right time. That's the only way Oklahoma has won their football games these last couple of weeks is the fucking defense. Defense ain't going to be worth a shit if they actually play a team that knows what the fuck to do to get around it. Alabama, that's a great win for them. That's a tough opponent. The fact that they were able to do that is a goddamn miracle, especially in Tuscaloosa. They ain't doing that in the playoffs. You can kiss my fucking ass. It's not happening at all. One and done, Oklahoma.
Well, at least they'll make it there. They can say they made it. Only 12 teams get
that. Now fuck off.
Yeah, only 12 teams get that reward. Now, I don't know if I can show this. I don't think I'm allowed to.
It's not safe for work. I already see what you got. It's not safe for work.
I don't, guys. I don't think I can actually show this.
No,
I wish I could. I really do. I wish I could.
Yeah, I don't think YouTube promotes violence very well.
No, it's not just it's not just that. I mean, this is this is an execution. Okay, how about this? I'll show it for 1 second and then I'll put it off the screen. All right. 3, 2, 1. God. Yeah, I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
Oh God. Why?
I've seen enough.
You did not have to do that. No.
And they were injured enough.
Oh God. Squid, come on, man.
Yeah, look, man, I don't like it either. That's why I gave a countdown. It was for educational purposes, man, because the people got to be informed of what happened. You know what that means. Even as messy as that looked, the people got to be informed of what happens.
It's like I was back in middle school and they were trying to show us the films of people giving birth, and it's like that was disgusting.
That's literally what that is. Literally, it's like, all right, now we're gonna put on the screen somebody giving birth. If you think that's gonna scare you, then I advise you look away. Then they give a countdown, and then they show it on the screen, and then you just hear ah. That's literally what that was.
Oh God, it's crowning.
There's nothing else to say about that game. Nothing else to say about what we saw on that day. So
poor Syracuse, they have families. God damn it.
Right. Anyway, oh God. Okay, let's move on to the next. Because what was this supposed to be? What in the world was this?
Classic Big 12 football?
I guess so. I guess we reverted back to the Big 12 of 10 years ago because what the hell? What are we doing here, Utah? You guys had one of the most consistently great defenses over the course of the season, and then out of nowhere, you you dadgum let Chris Kleeman, the minister of fourth downs, and Avery Johnson come in on you and put up almost half a 100 points. Just absolutely crazy. I don't understand it. Put 24 points in one quarter, and their quarterback got 100 yards passing. Joe Jackson had himself a day, though. I mean, I don't know how Utah let their defense get that badly carved up, but Joe Jackson, what a day for him. That had to have set a school record. Had to have.
I would think so. I mean, when was the last time we saw a near 300-yard rusher in FBS anywhere, quite frankly? I mean, you got to tip your hat to Joe Jackson. That's a hell of a game by one man. To be more than 3/4 of the 472 yards rushing that Kansas State put up is a hell of an accomplishment. But, whoa, doggy, what the hell were you doing, Utah?
That's what I want to know.
Like, I expected Kansas State to give up that many points, but Utah, bro, you're still in the Big 12 title hunt. You got to be better than that, dude. Like, come on. If you end up somehow bullshitting your way to Arlington, Texas Tech or BYU are going to skin your ass. Oh, fuck. Could you imagine if the Holy War ended up in the goddamn Jerry World for the Big 12 title? Holy shit.
Oh, no. Yeah, no. Texas Tech would need to just completely fall off the map.
Yeah.
But it's too late for that. They've only got one more game.
Anything's possible. The bullshit.
No, literally, it's not possible. Even if they lose their last game of the season somehow, they've got the tiebreaker over Utah. It's literally impossible.
I know.
I know. We can only dream. I know. I'm right there with you.
What would happen is some crazy ass 4-way tie where everybody gets tied up and there's some fucking tiebreaker goes Utah's way that disavows the goddamn head-to-head or some shit. Not happening. Right. Not happening at all.
All right. Anyway, well, before we get into next week, because we do have a lot to talk about for next week, here's our weekly shout out section. Let's go ahead and give our shout outs before we go ahead and roll into next week. First of all, shout out to, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. I got one from somebody in our Twitch chat, Big Red Pro. Shout out to Vanderbilt for shoving an anchor up the cat's ass because it gave Big Red Pro back problems.
That's tough, buddy. And then, WinFN, he gave out a $2 super chat. Thank you, good sir. Says, does the best team in the blue and gold go 5-0?
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's like saying, does the team wearing red jerseys win this week? Perchance.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of 50-50.
Right. But yeah, no, shout out to Vandy. Spanked the crap out of the Wildcats, the Mildcats, if whatever you want to call it. Mark Stoops not extra motivated this week. Might be motivated against Louisville to finish out 5-6, they're 5-6 right now. Got to beat Louisville in order to make a bowl. Mark Stoops, can you do it? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Shout out to the good old Las Vegas UNLV Rebs. They're now 9-2 after a beatdown of Hawaii. Let's give credit where it's due to our boy Development. Where's he at? Where's Development at? Come on out, Development. There you go. Welcome back, Development. Good to see you. Good to see you.
He's developed a solid team in UNLV. I'll say that. I'll give the devil bastard his due. Like he has made them into a solid team this year. Mm-hmm. Desert Rat Dan Mullen working at his finest. Now, politely fuck off to the next team you're going to try to ruin.
Right. Shout out to Akron. Akron beat Bowling Green 19-16. The only reason I'm mentioning that is because Akron is the first team out of anybody in the FBS to finish their season. So they're done for the year. Yeah, they're 5-7. Even if they had 6 wins, they weren't going to a bowl because remember they're too stupid for that. I'm not even like making a joke there. Like we all like they're actually too stupid to make a bowl.
They're academically ineligible to go bowling. Like even if some crazy bullshit were to happen, they're academically ineligible to go bowling. Although I'm going to say this, I do kind of feel bad because they beat Bowling Green at home on Pudge the Cat's senior night. His owner's a senior. He may not be back next year. He should come back and just be the mascot handler for Pudge going forward for the rest of that cat's life.
Well, don't forget, and remember the fact that you let Ben Finley win that game, throwing 9 of 26. So
legendary 6-year quarterback Ben Finley.
And shout out to UMass, by the way. I know they lost big to Ohio, but we're going to find out. They're 0-11 right now. They're the only team left that has yet to win a single ball game. If they lose this week, and in fact, you know what time they play? They play tomorrow. We're going to talk about we're going to touch on that game, but yeah, they're 0-11. They have the chance for the perfect season. So keep an eye on that one. Also, a chance for the perfect season. A&M, they won again against Sanford, 48-0. They dominated. Shout out to A&M. Shout out to Mickey Mouse, did the same thing, 35-3 over Charlotte. Good for them. Let's see. Alabama, same thing. Eastern Illinois. You see the trend here that we're going with. A bunch of SEC teams basically had bye weeks.
Fuck you, all the SEC teams that decided to play an FCS fucking cannon fodder this week. Fuck you, Georgia, for playing Charlotte. Poor Charlotte. They did not deserve that beatdown. Goddamn, they're 1-10.
It's our bad too. It's our bad too. We had Florida scheduled this week, so. Shout out to BYU. Their chances of making the Big 12 championship are still intact after beating Cincinnati on the road. Great day for the Mormons. Not a great day for the Cincinnati fan base. Multiple apologies from the administration for their attitude.
Yeah, the Cincinnati fans were really cranky because we're all really cranky down here in the Natty right now because the Bengals got beat by the Patriots. The Bearcats lost. And then FC Cincinnati lost 4-0 to Inter Miami. 4 fucking goals? Really? Really, boys?
Wait.
4 goals. I know they got Messi on their team, but fuck. 4 goals? Are we just eternally destined to lose the soccer semifinals in whatever godforsaken tournament we're in? It's the Open Cup. It's the MLS Cup. It's the fucking Leagues Cup. What's next? CONCACAF, where we're going in February? God fucking shit. Gary the Lions passed out drunk in a corner right now. Sorry.
Yeah. And the rest of the Cincinnati teams with them.
Yeah, no, my bad. Wrong football.
No, we understand. We understand. Anyway, shout out to the Canes of Miami. They beat Virginia Tech. Their hopes of the playoffs hold on some upsets. We'll see if they get lucky. I don't know. We're going to find out in due time. Texas at 8-3. They're going to need some good blessings and a win over A&M to get into the playoffs after beating Arkansas. They let 0-9 or 2-9, 0-7 in the SEC. Arkansas put up 37 points on them. Not the best day for them.
Yeah,
they did win.
Not by itself. Are you kidding me?
Should, but maybe it could, should, who knows? Wolverines of Michigan. They beat Maryland, send Mike Locksley out of bowl eligibility. Maryland on their 7th straight loss after losing. So, yeah, Mike Locksley still has a job. All right, TCU. They beat Houston. Send them on their merry way. That's a good win for TCU. Houston was actually ranked this week. No longer that the case. There's, again, another rendition of the 2016 Houston collapse. Tis what they do. Tulane, your front runner for the G5 or G6, guess what? They won. Beat Temple 37-13. They're now 9-2, and all they have left is winning this in the American, and they're heading to the big dance. Arizona State beat Colorado 42-17. Good win for them as they advance hopefully further down into the rankings. Northwestern not necessarily game-winning field goal, but they did win by a field goal. The only reason they won is because Minnesota missed what could potentially be the game-tying field goal. Minnesota is now 6-5, and the prophecy always comes true with PJ Fleck. 5th loss of the season. They're going to win this next game, and they're going to be 7-5 again. The prophecy always reigns true with Minnesota, doesn't it?
Ding, 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 ding. Hurry. PJ Fleck has fulfilled the prophecy. Now the extension was worth it, Gophers.
Yep. SMU with the 38-6 win over Miami's other quality loss. Both quality losses for the Canes. Wake Forest with an absolute spanking of Delaware moves up to 8-3. Honestly, underrated year. Underrated year for Wake Forest, yeah. James Madison with the game touchdown to beat 5-6 Washington State. Now, they did win. They're 10-1, not in the rankings yet. Probably will be in the playoff poll this upcoming week. But they need Tulane to drop one if they want to have a chance. And to be honest, after a win like that, that doesn't do them much of any favors. Arizona beat the crap out of Baylor 41-17 right after Baylor makes the announcement that they're keeping Dave Aranda for another year. So just like Florida State, they're too much of a coward to go ahead and jump into the coaching carousel. Tough luck there.
Yeah, they need at least one. It's going to take another year. This carousel would be absolutely brutal to them right now.
Yeah, and totally unrelated news. Art Briles is back in coaching at D2, the D2 schools. So good luck with that. Yeah. Auburn, congratulations to Auburn. They scored 62 points. That's worth mentioning with a freshman in Deuce Knight. So Auburn refound life by beating Mercer. Good win for him. Good win for him. Iowa, game-winning field goal over Michigan State. They're up to 7-4 right now. Hawkeyes winning games as they always do in low scoring, very, very close ball games. Shocker. Duke, guess what the Blue Devils did? They went on the road and beat Bill Belichick, also known as Jordan Hudson's wife. Speaking of Jordan Hudson, her dumbass went ahead and revealed her credentials because she's suing somebody. If you gotta go online on an Instagram post and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm suing you," yeah, chances are a lot of what you're doing is for attention. And yeah, I kind of hate it for Bill, man. He used to be a legend.
I'm suing you.
Yeah,
I'm so suing you. It's not even a fucking funny joke about how much I'm going to sue you.
It's just a shame, man. Bill used to be a legend. He used to be a legend of a coach amongst the football world with the Patriots. And we have just saw him collapse majorly over these past few years. Collapse with the Patriots and then starts dating and now is engaged with this succubus that's just taking whatever life there is out of him. And now he's lost another game and is now bowl ineligible at North Carolina.
Did you see the picture floating around online of him at Jordan Hudson's goddamn adult co-ed cheerleader thing where he was sitting in the back and he was just like,
I don't think he's all there anymore. I don't. Like, I'm not even joking. I don't even think he's all there anymore. It's sad to see. It's sad. It is. It's sad to see, man. Do you really think?
No. Like, when they put his ass in the Hall of Fame, it's going to be Jordan Hudson giving the acceptance speech. That's what's the fuck's going to happen at this rate. Or she's going to be standing right next to him telling him what to say. So, yeah, thank you what do I say, baby? Thank you very much for this honor. Yeah, what else?
Well, no, she's not the one who hears from him. Bill doesn't. Bill is speaking everything that Jordan wants to say. It's the complete opposite dynamic there. Yeah. She's the succubus. That's what she's doing. It's crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, UCF beats Oklahoma State. More news of the week for you there. Oklahoma State loses again, 17-14. Oklahoma State moves down to 0-10. Womp womp, sad face. Dave Valinsky with the 20. Appreciate it, buddy. Says only at Minnesota can start playing their coordinators and position coaches. Maybe we can start breaking out the middle of the road slump. Seriously, if PJ doesn't beat Wisconsin, he's on the hot seat. Well, I guess we're due to find out. But
I mean, yeah,
7-5 is his 7-5 is his forte. So
I mean, let's be real here. This is like it's his forte, but this Wisconsin team is so fucking bad. Like, if you don't beat this fucking Wisconsin team, they're gonna have some discussions there. Like, there's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, right.
You got to beat Wisconsin. You got to retain the axe this year. If you don't retain that axe, heads will roll.
No doubt. Penn State won. A shocker, I know. They won their second Big Ten game of the season after beating Nebraska. Now, again, Nebraska is a husk of what they formerly wore with Dylan Mahomes' injury. So they definitely aren't the same team they were before, but sucks to see for the Cornhuskers. But at least this season, if all you got to do is win one more game, and it'll be an improvement over last year. And more than that, it doesn't look like Matt Rule is going to be leaving. So
No,
that's
he already signed the extension. He's there for the long term. Nebraska avoided the minefield there because as things kind of turned out, if they had actually let Matt Rule walk, oh boy, you thought Scott Frost was bad in Nebraska. God damn.
right. I think the Cajun is collapsing even further. I don't think the Cajun's done collapsing.
Hey, I just retweeted this because Pete Thamel just tweeted this out. Brian Kelly's attorneys just spoke out because they're currently kind of in a big lawsuit hullabaloo with LSU trying to work out the buyout there. Yep. LSU, quote from his attorneys, LSU's conduct has made it nearly impossible for Brian Kelly to land a job. I dare say, attorneys.
Wow.
Maybe it's not LSU's conduct that is making it impossible for Brian Kelly to land a job. Maybe it's because he is a fucking piece of shit.
Perchance.
Go watch Cajun Collapse on my channel. It just dropped yesterday. It'll explain everything there. Fuck you, Brian Kelly, you sack of shit.
By the way, Nico lost again.
That was an abrupt turn.
Yeah. Well, was it? Yeah. If you were awake at 2 a.m. to see this game, then all you got to see was another Nico EM. I'm gonna leave you beat down. That's what you saw. There wasn't much else to it.
No. It was.
There never really
is. I watched the game and I turned it off.
Everybody was asleep after the first 10 seconds of it. All right. Anyway, time for some rivalry week action because we've made it to the final week of the regular season. We got a lot of games on our way, but first, before anything else, before that, Viper Technician with the 2 says, BK, have it your way. Whopper, 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 whopper.
Fuck you, Brian Kelly. Kiss my ass. Sorry.
All right, well, before anything else, this is actually the first game of Rivalry Week, and it's tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. UMass is fighting for glory. They're 14.5-point dogs against Bowling Green.
Okay.
One game away from the perfect season.
Listen, we can only talk about this with the right music. Ladies and gentlemen of both Squidtard and Red5478 YouTube, the Sickos Bowl has arrived. One of many this week, believe it or not, as Bowling Green, a team that is not considered to be one of the worst, although they're having a pretty rough season themselves. Pudge the Cat's adorable. We all fucking love him. Is going to have the honor, the privilege, the absolute glory of handing the fucking UMass Minutemen their 12th straight loss of the season and give them a prize rarer and more valuable than the national championship. 0-12! I don't think I can say that better myself.
I don't think you could. I don't think you could. That was wonderful. All that to say, UMass, the perfect season is underway. Become the new Kent State. We'll be waiting. All right, anyway, let's move on here. This is on Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Navy and Memphis, 2 teams with 8 wins battling it out in the American for the right to perchance make the championship game. They'll need some hope. They'll need some luck. And they'll need whatever glory they can get. But this is their opportunity to prove it right here. Memphis is a 5.5-point favorite hosting Navy at home. You think they've got a shot because, well, like Horvath, he seems to think so. So what are the odds here?
Something tells me, if I'm looking at the stats here, Memphis has a real chance. Memphis has been on a skid the last couple of weeks. They lost to ECU. They've kind of been playing like shit as of late after they lost their playoff and conference title hopes. But they are at the Liberty Bowl. It is on Thanksgiving. Anything can fucking happen. Things have gone kooky plenty of times. And I know a lot of people look at Navy's record and how they've been playing against certain teams. It's like, oh, it's the fucking, they're going to just blast their asses. No. Brendan Lewis is a great fucking quarterback, and he has played excellent this season if you look at it from the whole thing. Navy, on the other hand, their offense is literally led by one man. That's Blake fucking Horvath. The man that will one day be dropping bombs on our enemies has been, playing absolutely stellar against his opponents, but I genuinely don't think Navy wins this game. I don't. I think that this is going to open the door to North Texas potentially making it in this for the conference title game. Navy, there's a reason why, even though they've led the conference, Navy's not been ranked in the playoffs. It's because their offense is so questionable. And when their defense isn't perfect, oh, you fucking know. They barely beat Temple earlier this year, for God's sake. They won it on a miracle. I got Memphis 100% winning this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I think Memphis is going to win it. No problem.
All right, well, I think it's going to come down to the best team that can run the football here. And while Horvath's definitely got his weapons at his disposal here, I think Sutton Smith is going to have himself a day that's going to open up the lane for Brendan Lewis, and Memphis will come out on top over Navy in this battle of the American Giants. That's what I think. Although we do support the military around here, I hope for that sake that Navy wins, but I want to count on it.
Military ain't got nothing to do with it. We're just looking at who the better football teams are, and in this case, I think Memphis is the better football team. Better fighting force, 100% the Navy, 100%. Back-to-back World War champs. Let's go.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, on to the next one here, and of course, this is to be expected at noon Eastern on ABC. Everyone's favorite Egg Bowl between Ole Miss and the fighting for bowl eligibility Mississippi State Bulldogs. Now, we can't go without talking about Ole Miss without ever talking about the future of what Lane Kiffin's got going on, because, well, I think he's gone. I think he gone bye-bye with all the drama going on around this. And even if he isn't, I think Ole Miss fans want him gone. I don't think there's any Ole Miss fans that are actually, I think they're fed up with him, and rightfully so.
Did you not see the "We Want Lane" chants last week in the stands at home?
It's a facade. They want him gone.
No, they want him to stay. Ole Miss is having great success under Lane Kiffin. The
smart ones don't. And the reason why is this isn't the first time he's done this.
So what you're saying is 90% of the Ole Miss fans are fucking dumb.
Are you going to argue that? But anyway,
just get digging.
Yeah,
bad enough the Bulldogs hate your ass. It's bad enough the Gators hate your ass. Let's just get the Rebels involved.
Dude, everybody hates my ass. Why? Everybody does. Everybody hates your ass too. What are you out here acting like Mr. Positive for? Right here, I'm the people's YouTuber. Stop. No, you're not. I've got an entire fan base of receipts from West Virginia fans that lets me know that you're a liar. Where were we? Oh yeah, Lane Kiffin. Speaking of fan bases that hate a singular person, boy. Look, this isn't the first time he's done this. He did this at Auburn too. Or he didn't. He wasn't at Auburn, but he did it towards Auburn a couple of years ago, and Brian Harsin got fired. There's all these talks about Kiffin leaving for Ole Miss. He played with it. All the Twitter posts were talking about it. He was talking about it. Oh, I may leave Auburn. Then the week of the Egg Bowl rolls around. He changes his mind. He's like, nope, not leaving. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, Lane Kiffin's not leaving. Oh my goodness. And now here he is doing the exact same damn thing the moment the coaching search goes around in the SEC all over again. This is just going to keep happening. This is who Kiffin truly is. He's going to keep playing around with this. He's going to keep teasing these fan bases. And I don't know if it's just like this super duper, like Bitcoin style rug pull that he's trying to pull off here with LSU. But whatever the deal is, he's obviously flirting with them. And I think most of the Ole Miss fans are getting tired of it.
I mean, the longer this goes on, I think you are right in one sense. A chunk of the Ole Miss fans definitely don't like this because they saw. I mean, let's be realistic here. We all saw what happened with other teams when it seemed like their coaches were under threat. Nebraska and Indiana, two biggest ones right there. Matt Rule, Kurt Cignetti. The second the Penn State job became open, what happened? The schools locked their asses up long term.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss has not been able to do that with Lane Kiffin. The second the LSU job got open, I am willing to bet fucking everything that Ole Miss went to Lane and said, here, we got a nice little extension for you. Stay with Ole Miss long term. And he said, really? I'm going to think about this. and he just saw the opportunity. If I was a betting man, I would say that he wouldn't want to go to LSU or anywhere else because of the tire fires that those programs seem to be dealing with. I think Ole Miss would be willing to match any offer that Lane Kiffin is presented with because at the end of the day, money talks, bullshit walks, right? The Ole Miss is not worse than Florida or LSU when it comes to their athletic programs or their budgets. They just don't have the history and the prestige. But if they're able to convince Lane to stay, they may just get that. Mm-hmm. Just saying.
So yeah, give me Mississippi State with the win. This is one of my upset picks of the week. I think State gets Ole Miss. Actually, this comment right here sort of addresses what I said earlier. Squid, you said when Tennessee won versus Mississippi State, they were going to get someone down the line. I think this is their moment. Me too. I think the run game opens up in this battle. I think both will has them a good day. I think State's offense overall has them a good day, and I think they get the Rebels. I think this distraction is going to set up as disaster, and I think the Bulldogs are going to pull this one out in a close one. Give me State with the win.
It's tough. I would say that Ole Miss should win if you're looking at purely from the talent standpoint, but that is a good point you made with the Lane Kiffin fiasco going on, knowing that he's going to make his announcement after this game is over, and it might be the last time fans see him in the blue and red. I'm on the fence. I don't know, quite frankly. Mississippi State, they started hot. They're finishing cold. They've not been playing that well at all. Ole Miss has been pretty good the entire year. They only have one slip-up. Despite all the bullshit and the drama, I'm going to settle with Ole Miss on this one. But it's not going to be a blowout. It's going to be a close one, I think.
If you don't think the distraction counts towards anything, don't forget this Ole Miss team nearly lost to Florida because of it.
I know. That's why I'm saying it's going to be close. If this bullshit wasn't going on, it'd be a fucking blowout. No fucking doubt. But because of the bullshit going on, it's going to be tight. Maybe a field goal. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss is great. I think he'll be okay to block some of the shit out, but everybody else... Ugh.
Yeah, I guess we're due to find out, aren't we?
We'll find that out Friday night, no problem.
All right, next up, also on Friday, this one at 3:30, Georgia versus Georgia Tech. Clean, old-fashioned hate. The stakes are a little bit lower than they otherwise would be now that Georgia Tech just blew another game, but not to say that this game doesn't have any major implications. Both teams are ranked pretty highly. Georgia, of course, fighting for a possible chance at a bye, especially if they get their chance in the SEC title, which cross your fingers. But under the sense that they don't, cross your fingers. Georgia Tech, this is going to be a battle for the ages, I think, because of course we saw it last year. Yellow Jackets nearly went into Athens and beat the Bulldogs. And now I think they know that Georgia Tech poses an actual legitimate threat. That's what I think. So before Red gives his prediction, I'll go ahead and give mine. I've been all kinds of mean towards the Dog fans, so I'm going to throw y'all a hypothetical bone. I've got the Bulldogs in this one. I think they take control. I think it's going to be like a close game at halftime, but I think they're going to do a great job shutting down Haynes King in the second half. And like I previously said, when you shut down Haynes King, you shut down the offense, you shut down the entire team and probably the entire program and every pet boys around them. So give me the Bulldogs with the win. I've got Georgia taking control.
Unfortunately, I also have to throw the Bulldog fans a bone and say that I think Georgia's going to win this game. Jonesy, I see your comment in here. It says, wait, it's at Mercedes-Benz. Yeah, the reason it's at Mercedes-Benz is because partially because Bobby Dodd's getting a renovation. Also, partially, Money Talks Bullshit Walks. There's a stadium series, believe it or not, for this rivalry right now for the next 2 seasons. Who the fucking knew, right? So I don't like it. I think it should be at Bobby Dodd. That would give Georgia Tech a little bit more of an advantage, even though it is in Atlanta. Georgia, this is basically their home away from home. They've had so many great games in Mercedes-Benz. They've won so many championships in Mercedes-Benz, the SEC. The national championship, I think they won in Mercedes-Benz at 1.2, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong, actually. But you get my point. They've had so many great. Yeah, I forgot. They actually lost it to with the fucking overtime game. My bad. Either way, they've won so many games in this stadium. It's basically their home field, even if it's in Atlanta. And there's not going to be a lot of Tech fans there because it's a neutral site. Even if it's not far from Bobby Dodd, it's a neutral site. It's NFL seating. It's not college seating. The college fans are going to be priced out. It's going to be rich pompous assholes at this game. And unfortunately, Bulldog fans travel well because they're a bunch of rich pompous assholes. So
unless they crash like the entire team.
unless they crash or get pulled over. Give me Georgia.
Or arrested. or all the above. Yeah, they just had another player get arrested just yesterday. So
well,
yeah, it's already starting. God damn it. It's like the offseason never ended for him. Anyway, Dumb Gamers 2234 with the 2 says, "Who's your sugar daddy?"
Not you.
Are we talking about Jordan Hudson here? Or are we talking about
Dumb Gamers has donated an obscene amount of money to my YouTube channel since we started to take off last year. And at one point, the joke running was he was the sugar daddy on the YouTube channel. JFKH has some words with you about that one, buddy. I'm just going to tell you that right now.
That dude's an absolute legend. Love that guy. Same with Scott Crawford. Both of those guys, absolute goats of Squidtard
Dumb Gamers
Sports.
will always be known as the OG sugar daddy, I guess. Even though I am owned to no man.
Speaking of which, speaking of sugar, how sugar high do you think this will make the Aggies if they wound up winning this one and finishing out 12-0? That's what I want to know.
Sugar high, dude. We're talking cocaine high. What the fuck are you talking about? Sugar.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. No, this is a big game right here. Not only that, but A&M's coming in as the favorite in Austin. So Texas, while they still have a shot at the playoffs, if nothing else, they have the chance to play spoiler here against A&M. They're coming in 11-0, have yet to take a loss. This is ironically the best SEC. Excuse me, the best SEC team that they've played all season long, and it's Texas on the road. Do you think they could spoil A&M's season by winning this game?
Bull's gonna kill me for this. I think Texas is gonna win. I think Texas is gonna win. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I'm sorry. Look,
it's
as much as I hate the fucking Longhorns, and I hate them with a fucking passion. Let me be clear. A&M at times has looked kind of flawed and fluky. They've had a couple of close games against teams where it should not have been close. They did beat Notre Dame in Notre Dame. I'll give them that. They can beat top teams. But the records go out the fucking window when you're talking about A&M and Texas. Everybody knows this. First game in Texas since in over a decade. Well over a decade between these two schools. And I dare say that the pressure of what they are trying to accomplish and the fucking noise that Darryl Arcade, whatever the fuck DRK Stadium, whatever the fuck they call it in that piece of shit, Austin, Texas. I think it's going to be too much. Give me the Horns. I think this is the game where Arch Manning actually makes a statement. Finally, they just went ham on the holiday hams. He's been getting hot towards the end of the season. He's starting to get more comfortable. He's getting better. But as you said, this is the best team in the SEC A&M's faced all year. So I know I don't want to hear ESPN glaze.
Nobody does.
I don't want to go into work, look at my TV in my office, and be like, oh, and they'll be like, oh God, Arch Manning, oh, Arch Manning. Fuck, I don't want it any more than you do.
No kidding. Anyway, Big Bang. Boom. Look who came in with the drop, with the bomb drop. $100 super chat from JFKH, specifically probably to you, Red. Yeah. I am the guy, not you, and for your toilet, F you. There you go. There you go. JFKH is a real one. He's a real one. Shout out to him, bro. Coming in through the clutch.
JFKH, thank you so much. That's a big help. Again, thank you very much for doing that.
What a goat.
Why is it that every time I bring his ass up and I like some sort of like it almost comes off as a dare sometimes. He's like, oh, okay, cha-ching. Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. he had the button ready. What a guy. What a legend. Anyway, I think A&M wins this game. I think they prove that they've got some worth to them. Because while they've had their struggles, they've already proven, like what the Notre Dame win, they've got a talented team when everything comes together. I think Marcel Reed has them a day on the Texas defense. I think they go in there and I think they do what they got to do to win. That's what I think. We'll see how it holds up.
It's going to be a close one no matter what, but I just don't think it's going to happen, man. We've seen this movie before on my channel, unfortunately, too many times.
Well, I guess we're due to find out, aren't we? Anyway, here's your next game right here, noon on Saturday, Miami and Pitt. This brawl has a couple of implications mixed in there with the ACC title game. For one, if Miami wins this game, they'll be 10-2, probably heading to the playoffs, going on the road to play, but they'll probably be there. If Pitt wins this game, that puts Pitt ahead. Now, it doesn't put them in any playoffs. They've been way out of that for a long time, but it's going to put them in the ACC championship. But if they lose and Miami wins the game, neither one gets in. Instead, what you're probably going to get is SMU versus Virginia for the daggum ACC championship. And what a brawl that's going to be. SMU and Virginia. Hell yeah.
Yep.
Tank conference personified. Anyway, I've got this is a tough one for me to say, but Mario Cristobal has, for the longest time in my eyes, had the tendency of blowing it at the very end. And until he doesn't, I can't pick him to win here. I'm taking Pitt. I'm taking Pitt to win this game outright. I think Heinz Schnell has him a day on the defense. Not enough of a day to blow out Miami or any given circumstances like that. But I think the Panthers are going to make enough plays on defense, especially on Carson Beck, to get the W.
I am also going to side with the Yinzers, the Fighting Yinzers of Pittsburgh. And the reason why, again, Heinz Schnell he is 6-0 against ACC opponents this season since he's been starting. He is like a fucking cheat code, man. He is scary good for being a freshman. He is scary fucking good. And the other reason why I'm saying Pitt wins is Miami has been they've been slacking. They've only had to play against cupcakes the last couple of weeks. And that obviously makes it look okay, but we haven't forgotten what happened against Louisville. They play a team half of it worth of shit, and everything goes to shit. It's going to be another Mario Cristobaling. I could see it coming a mile away. Heads will roll if they lose this game.
Chance. Oh, per chance. It's going to be insanity no matter what. There's so many games that we got to go through. I don't think we can cover all of these.
We just hit on the biggins.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's so many biggins. That's the thing.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Why don't we? Here's what we do. We got to cover ourselves. I think that's important. We got to cover ourselves.
Yes.
At the end, if we get any super chats in between them, we're going to leave it up to the people. How about that?
That sounds good to me.
Leave it up to the people.
Super chats. Suggest your game. Super chats. Any amount.
That's right. We'll go through. All right.
Yes,
now
sir.
let me go first because I know we got to leave that one for last, at least because college game day with the gluck every time that game comes around. They never go to any other game in rivalry week ever in history. It's always the same daggone game. Maybe if Auburn was good, but that's again never gonna happen. Okay, but anyway, on to this one. Well, this is a big game right here, and who would have ever thought that in any given scenario that Tennessee would be playing spoiler for Vandy in their playoff run? Just a ridiculous circumstance of events here. Vandy is 9-2, chance of a playoff bid, heading into Knoxville to play against an 8-3 Tennessee who can possibly play spoiler. Now, let me tell you something. Before anything else, it takes a lot to be a 9-2, to lead a 9-2 team at Vandy, be one of the best quarterbacks in the country, and then still have everyone hate you. But somehow Diego Pavia has made that the case. This dude has such a giant ego, and in a lot of given circumstances, like with Johnny Manziel, and when he was in college, a lot of that made sense. He was really good, had a lot of credentials behind him, had a lot of trophies behind him. Diego ain't got none of that yet. He has a lot of wins, but he's not gotten the big ones yet. He hasn't even gotten this team to the playoffs. Tennessee has the chance to be the biggest spoiler for Diego Pavia and Vandy. And the way I see it is Joey Aguilar, Deshaun Bishop, Chris Brazzell, Peyton Lewis, Star Thomas, and all the rest, and especially Josh Heupel. We're going to make sure you know your place because now that you've gotten 9 wins, you've got a very sharp tongue. You think you're unbeatable. This is your best season ever. Not just best season as long as you've been alive, not just the best season in the last 50 years. This is your best season in history. 150-something years of college football. This is your best year in the history of your program. And it's going to be extra satisfying to watch it all crumble down at the hands of my Tennessee Volunteers because we are going to beat the life out of the Vanderbilt Commodores. Y'all have gotten way too loud, way too damn loud, and it's about time for you to finally shut the hell up and know your place. Tennessee by 105. This game won't be close. Joey Aguilar is going to make an ass of Diego Pavia. Tennessee is going to make an ass of Pavia again, and we're going to put the whooping of a lifetime on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Go Vols, baby! What you got to say about that?
Calm down. Calm the fuck down.
Okay, I remember that.
Look, let's just make a couple things clear here. Let's compare common opponents, okay? Well, we can. You guys both lost to Alabama. Who played better in those losses, in your opinion? Vandy or Bama?
Wait, what? Who played?
Vandy lost to Bama. Tennessee lost to Bama, right? Who played better? It's a measuring stick, isn't it? If you ask me, who played better in that loss?
Vandy or Bama, you said. Don't you mean
Vandy
or
or Tennessee against Bama? Bama, you know what I mean?
It's a close race. It's not like one team got blown out.
That's my point. Neither of them got blown out by Bama. The only way I can really make comparisons here between these two teams is look at common opponents. There's not a lot of them, but Alabama is a pretty good measuring stick, right? I love Diego Pavia personally. I think he's great. I think he's a great player. I think he should at least be sitting in the chair in the Heisman room. I don't think he should win it, but he should be there in New York when they do the Heisman Trophy presentation. I think he's earned that. Vanderbilt has earned all the accolades and praise that they've gotten. You can't deny it. They have earned it, Squid. Okay? Do they talk? Yeah. Diego has a mouth. Of course he does. Look at what he's done.
I'm not going to deny that they didn't earn it. It's just time for them to come back down to reality.
Well, the reality is this. I don't think it's going to be a beatdown. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be ass-clenchingly close against Tennessee. I think the Volunteers win. I'll give Tennessee the win. But it's not going to be no destruction. It's going to be white knuckle the whole way through.
JFKH with the 2, appreciate it, buddy, says, and this is why people hate SEC people. All I can say to that is boo daggum who. It's football. We're allowed to trash talk. What, are you only allowed to trash talk if you're a Big 12 fan? I don't know.
They have nothing to trash talk about. What
game.
defense is in the Big 12?
Yeah, right. Okay, well, now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's see if you can, since you know what, you take the floor. Why don't you? There's nothing else I need to say. It's time. It is time. Let us know what you think.
You know, there comes a time in every man's life where you need to ask yourself one simple question. What is hate? What's hate? Okay. I hate the weather. I hate the taste of this food. I hate where I work. I hate the people I have to spend time with or something like that. I hate my car. I hate my bills. I hate my fucking internet. I hate my laptop. I hate this. I hate that. None of those compares to the level of hatred that I have for that team up north. Okay. Like somebody said once that there's too much energy to hate. It burns too much energy to hate. It's easier to forgive. There is going to be no forgiveness. There is going to be no mercy. There's going to be no second thought about the brutality, the slaughter, the unstoppable force that is the Ohio State Buckeyes. Let me, number 1 in the nation, undefeated. Maybe 2 teams have scored more than 10 points on us all season. Maybe 2. And usually in garbage time. Right? You're not getting around that defense. Our offense will blot out the sun with touchdown passes. Our defense will be the great fucking wall that you cannot climb over. We will turn Ann Arbor into a fucking crater when we're done with your asses on Saturday at high noon in that goddamn cesspool that is the Big House. Oh, so big. It's huge. I've seen it. It's shit. You see the first 5 stands, and it's just a big ass hole that we are going to bury the entire state of Michigan in once and for all. It has been fucking years since before COVID since we beat this fucking team. Like, we've survived a goddamn pandemic since the last time we beat Michigan. This is the time. Last year was supposed to be the time. It wasn't. And it gave us the fuel to win a national title. But this year, bitch, we are the defending champs. We are coming into your own turf. We have not forgotten what the fuck has happened. We know what's at stake. We know what's on the line. You're not making it out of this alive. Fuck you, Wolverines. Fuck the state of Michigan. Fuck that fucking team with every fiber of my being. Take the piss off your shirts for a minute and bow before the mighty Ohio State Buckeyes. Buckeyes by 50.
Calm down. Calm down.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Well, if we compare common opponents, Red, here's what I know. I don't actually know anything. That's been known.
Let's try.
What I do know, though, is that this is a moment in waiting. I know Ohio State fans have waited a very, very long time for this moment.
Mhm.
Been 6 years since you last beat Michigan. You're doing it on the road this time.
Yep.
It's going to be a tough battle, I think. I think Michigan is going to give you all you want and more. That's sincerely what I do think. Their defense, it's going to be very hard to exploit. I think their offense is improving week after week. I think their run game could really tell the story of how this goes down. It's all a matter of whether or not Samaj Morgan tries to screw Michigan over and give Ohio State the win here. But I don't think that's going to come. I don't think it's going to come down to that. I think it is going to be a close, as you said about Vandy and Tennessee, Red, as clinchingly close game. I think Michigan is going to give you all you want and more. But I think in the end, I've got Ohio State coming out on top. It's going to be a close battle. It's going to be, again, fun to witness, but we've seen it before. Ohio State does have the clutch bone in their potential, and when they need to come up clutch, their defense has done so. So I think they'll take like a score lead, something like that, kind of keep it throughout the whole thing, maintain it, and then, well, the rest is history. That's what I think happens. But yeah, I've got Ohio State winning. I don't think they cover, but I do think they win. Win FM, appreciate the 5. He says, same thing you said the last 4 years, Michigan 5-0.
Fuck you.
JFKH with the 2. He says, this is why Big Ten fans are hated.
Nah, just Buckeye fans. Just Buckeye fans. Indiana's not hated, I don't think.
Kenny Vasquez with the 5. Thank you, buddy. He says, give me Michigan. Also, Squid, congrats on winning your Super Bowl, beating the Gators in the swamp. Yeah. Tennessee undefeated in Super Bowls, by the way. But thank you. I appreciate it.
Congrats on winning the Super Bowl. That's the closest you guys are going to have this season, unfortunately. Sorry, too much.
Don't make me change my pick.
I mean,
look, I'm going to remember that for next week. Don't you better watch it.
I'm sure you will. While you all eat shit at your words, giving me, Michigan's going to win. Michigan's going to win. Nah, Michigan ain't winning that game. Mark my fucking words. Michigan is not winning that goddamn game.
So what do you do if they don't?
What do you mean, what do I do if they don't?
What do I do if you don't win?
If they don't win, I drink. Simple as that.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, there you go.
Young
Gamers, appreciate the 5. He says, red translation, despite the Buckeyes being the more dominant team and the favorite, Michigan will beat the Ohio State University by a field goal.
Oh. Not happening. Not this year. This is not that. It's this
man.
Year. We're beating
man.
Them. We are fucking beating them. I will never be satisfied.
He wants it
until we have the all-time winning record against Michigan. Michigan currently leads the all-time series. I'm never going to be satisfied until that changes. The day that we have more wins against Michigan than they have against us, I'll calm down. It ain't happening anytime soon.
Yeah, that's may not happen in your lifetime, honestly.
It'll happen in my lifetime. Don't you worry about that. It'll happen in my lifetime. Mm-hmm. It will. I have faith in that. I don't have faith in a lot of things, but I have faith in that. It'll happen.
Well, yeah, I guess we'll see. Right now, we share. At least we share that same, that same bad luck. We have losing records against our rivals, but that's the way it do be sometimes. All right. Anyway, Red, it's time. It's time for that moment of the FBS report. You made the graphics. You get to go ahead and show the class.
Yeah,
we gotta get conference and playoff scenarios down. So, Red, show the class what you've shown.
All right. Once again, here are the rules. There are none. We're just going to go in alphabetical order, and I'm going to kind of explain what's going on this week. It's a little bit better research than last week. I will say that up front. It's also a little bit easier to follow, believe it or not. So here we go. We're going to start with the American. Current standings. For Tulane, win and you're in. For Navy, if you win, you're also in. But should Navy lose, North Texas, you slide in to play Tulane. USF, the South Florida Bulls, somehow they are still alive for a conference title spot should everything else go to hell and tiebreakers go their way. It's a long shot, but it could still happen. The ACC, it's a mess. It's a complete and total mess, but it's fairly easy to follow. Virginia and SMU, they win their games, they're in. SMU is in on tiebreakers if that were to happen. Pitt needs to beat Miami and have Virginia or SMU lose their games. Miami needs everything to go right. When Virginia loses and SMU loses. What?
No crying in the casino, loser. That's the description for Georgia Tech. Wow.
Yes, I was getting there.
For the record, I did not see this before now either. This is the first time I'm actually seeing these standings too. So
yeah, Georgia Tech, even though that was only their second loss in conference play, they would need literally everything to go right and everybody above them to lose to have any hope, because their last game is against Georgia, which is non-conference.
Yeah, in other words,
in other words, let's go gambling. Why do I keep losing? No crying in the casino, losers. You gambled the season away. It's over. But that's how that ended up going for them. Now, to the Big 12. Conference title standings here. For Texas Tech and BYU, winning in. Fairly easy. It gets a little weird, though, should anything happen here. If Arizona wins and BYU loses, Arizona State's in, I should say. It's Arizona State, not Arizona. I confuse the two sometimes. I'm dyslexic. Fuck you. Utah needs everybody to fucking lose. Like BYU, Texas Tech, Arizona State all need to lose in order for them to make the Big 12 championship game. Yeah. I seriously doubt that's going to happen if you just look at the opponents that they have to go up against. BYU, Utah's playing Kansas. That's a fairly winnable game. Arizona State could lose. They're playing Arizona. Both are 8-3 going into the game. Tech's got West Virginia. BYU is playing UCF. So go ahead and consider them dead. Big Ten time. Ohio State and Indiana winning in for both. It gets weird, though, if Ohio State were to lose. If Indiana loses, they still have a path in because they have the tiebreaker over Oregon. But if Ohio State loses to Michigan, and if Oregon loses, Michigan's in. Just like that. They only need Oregon or Indiana to lose with a win over Ohio State. Oregon, they need Ohio State to lose. Indiana losing does not mean anything to them because Indiana beat their ass. So fairly straightforward there. It's all going to get decided on Saturday, except for Indiana plays Purdue on Friday night. Going to that game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Girlfriend's a Hoosier. She's going to enjoy it thoroughly, I think. Moving on to the bottom of the barrel for a moment here. Conference USA.
Even the graphic didn't want to show up.
Yeah. No shit. This one's fairly easy because Kennesaw State won. Jacksonville State had a chance to clinch, but they blew it by losing to I think it was Coastal last week. I can't remember who they lost to, but they lost their game last week, which kind of puts them in a bind. Western lost their game, but it's non-conference against LSU, so it doesn't really matter. Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky play each other this week. The winner of that game goes to the conference title. Kennesaw State plays Delaware. All they got to do is beat Delaware, and they're in. And now, probably I'm going to save the messiest conference for last because it's just so much fun. The Mountain West, we'll come back to the MAC in a minute because it's just a fucking mess. The Mountain West, again, San Diego State and Boise State, they're winning in. Fairly easy and straightforward for them. But should Boise State lose, New Mexico is in for the conference title game. Yeah, I know. The fucking Lobos of all teams might actually contend. They just need Boise State to lose. UNLV, and this is where it gets real fun. UNLV needs Boise State or San Diego State to lose. And then at that point, it'll be a 3 or 4 team tie, which the Mountain West tiebreakers then go to a computer average between 4 different polls, computer polls a la BCS, to decide who plays in the conference title game. I would tell you who is going to likely make it out from these 4 teams, but I can't because one of those polls is not open to the public. So it's a complete, we don't fucking know. If we had to guess, best guess is say that of the teams listed, San Diego State and New Mexico would be, or UNLV would be the most likely to make it in should it get to this scenario. But we won't know. If Boise and San Diego shit the bed, chaos will be reigning in the Mountain West. And now I should update this to Sickos Bowl 10 because, ladies and gentlemen, it is that time. Once again,
oh dear Lord,
it is Sickos Bowl, motherfuckers. The Oregon Beavers currently the Pac-12 right up. Wazoo at home a couple of weeks ago. Washington State has 5 wins. They need to win this game, not only to win the Pac-12 championship, but to go fucking bowling. Goddamn. If they lose, not only do they lose the conference title, they don't go bowling. Everything is on the line for the Pac-12 championship. Winner takes all. No one is going to be happy at the end of it regardless. There is no fucking crying aloud in the casino. Moving on.
Yep.
SEC.
Sitting here
Nothing
again.
changed. Nothing fucking changed. It's still because everybody played cannon fodder this week. Literally, it's shameful. Thank God the SEC is going to 9 games next year. Texas A&M and Alabama, they win, they're in. Georgia, they need Alabama or A&M to lose. Ole Miss needs everybody to lose. Actually, they don't need Georgia to lose. They just need Bama and A&M to lose. So if Georgia were to lose to Georgia Tech and Alabama, it doesn't mean, but Alabama and Texas A&M win, it don't matter. Even if Alabama wins, Georgia would still get in, believe it or not, despite the tiebreaker. So that's how that pans out in the SEC. Friday night will be a big hint on how I think it's all going to go down. A&M plays Texas. Ole Miss plays Mississippi State on Friday. We will see what happens from there. Conference USA, probably the easiest one of them all. James Madison clinched over a week ago now. They're already got their ticket punched. Troy and Southern Miss will play this week. The winner goes to the Sun Belt Championship game. It's going to be a good game, honestly. It's going to be fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. No,
Arkansas State had a chance, but then they blew it to Louisiana. So they're done. All right. Now, finally, the biggest mess of them all, the MAC. 5 teams, 5 God-forsaken teams are still in the hunt. Again, Western Michigan, they have the easiest path. All they got to do is beat Eastern Michigan on Tuesday. So tomorrow night, I believe, let me double check. Yes. They play Eastern Michigan tomorrow for Tuesday night action. Western Michigan wins, they're in. If they don't win, they can still get in, but they'll need some help at that point. Ohio. Notice how everybody needs more than one fucking thing to happen if they win, okay? Ohio needs a win, and they also need Western Michigan or Miami to lose to get in, okay? Miami needs to win, but they need Toledo. Wait a second, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. I just realized that. Toledo and Central Michigan loses. They can't both lose. Only one of them can lose. I got to double check that. So,
well,
Miami
I mean,
wins.
Yeah. Right. Sorry. Go ahead.
So that's narrow. My bad. I fucked that up. Miami needs a win. They need Toledo to lose, and I think they need Ohio to lose.
You also said Toledo, by the way.
My bad.
Not to be that guy, but
you're totally being that guy. Right?
Toledo.
You're blowing my moments.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're present, but you ain't really there.
Okay, look. The biggest game of the week in terms of matches is going to be Saturday between Toledo and Central Michigan, because whoever wins that game has a better shot of making it into. I just
continue. Continue. Go on.
Central Michigan if Toledo beats Central Michigan, they still need Miami to lose. Okay, if Central beats Toledo, Ohio and Miami need to lose, which is probably the worst path of them all. So it's a mess, and I'll fix this graphic later for my video. But again, to run through it, Western's the best case scenario to win and get in. Ohio and Toledo have probably the second best case scenarios to get in. Miami is right there just above Central Michigan. They're going to need some help, and Central Michigan's kind of just fucked. So that's it. That's the class project. I hope you guys love my work.
Yeah, good
I can't
work.
believe I
Good
actually
work.
put in Toledo. Good God.
I like it. Keep it that way. Keep it that way. They can face off. They can face off against Rugters in the dumbass bowl or whatever, or Rickers, whichever one shows up. Excuse me. Yeah. Anyway, sounds like it's about time to end it. All right. This is a 2-hour show, so we got.
Oh shit! It happened 2 hours. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's past 10 o'clock. So yeah, guys. Been a good one tonight. Appreciate all y'all for showing up. We'll do it again next week. Same time as always, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Something I'm going to start doing over here on my channel is now that I'm live streaming over on Squidtard pretty much most days of the week, I am actually going to be uploading weekly schedules for all my live streams. So that way you guys will know when I'm going to be live, and you don't have to keep guessing, because sometimes I stream at this time, sometimes it's very convoluted. So I'm going to leave a stream schedule up on the Twitter page. If you haven't followed that, I highly recommend doing so, or the Discord, whichever one of the two. But yeah, no, that's what I got going on. Of course, Chaos will be coming out sometime later this week, as per the usual. Semester coming down to the close, so we got finals coming up. I'm gonna try and work around that the best way that I possibly can. Also, Squidtard really has to go to the bathroom, so I'm trying to hold that on too. So, Red, tell the folks what you got going on.
Week 13 Chaos will be out on Thanksgiving Day this week, thanks to the issues I described earlier, kind of putting a fucking kibosh on any work I was going to put on this weekend. So it's going to be delayed, but it will get done. And then Saturday, I will be live streaming for Ohio State, Michigan. I'm probably going to be a little bit tired because Friday night I'm going to be in West Lafayette for Indiana versus Purdue. I'm going to see that live in person, so that's gonna be fun. I got some good seats too. Lower section, close to the field. Gonna be nice. You might see my ass on TV. Who knows? But
I will
outside of that,
that's going to be the thumbnail, by the way. If we do see you on TV, just warning you now in advance.
I'm fully expecting that, and my girlfriend's gonna make me wear an Indiana jersey too. So,
oh no,
yeah,
no, bandwagon confirmed. Throw them to the abyss.
Do you see this shit? Do you see this fucking shit? I know bandwagon. Been a Buckeye since I was like 7 years old. After that, week 14 Chaos, and then I need to figure out I'm going to do a separate video for conference championships. We'll see if I have time.
All right.
That's about it.
Sounds good, brother. All right. Cool. Well, guys, appreciate y'all again for being on here tonight for another rendition of the FBS Report. Plenty of FBS to go around this week as well as next week. Expect a lot of chaos to occur as per the usual, but especially this upcoming week, because promise you, no matter what, we're going to see some chaos happen as with every other week. So we'll see you guys again next Monday for another rendition of the FBS Report. And that's all I got to say. See y'all next time. And of course, power to Tartaria beyond anything else. But Red, tell them, say your piece too.
Don't put fidget toys in your toilets.
Do not forget that. That is very important. Otherwise,
that is a very important piece of advice in life. Fidget toys do not belong in your toilets. Your wallet will thank you. Have a good week, guys. Enjoy the chaos. We're out of here.
Right. Take care, y'all.
That's it. Jesus.